Hey guys, Joe DeMarco from the Crazy New York Driver Show for Friday, March 22nd, 2024. Welcome to another eBay video. We have a lot of serious topics to discuss tonight, and hopefully time will permit me to cover them all. If time permits, here's what I want to cover tonight. I want to cover double dipping, more negative and neutral feedback problems, buyers who want to change their shipping address 2 days after you've shipped the item, buyers who want to cancel after the shipping label has been printed, in spite of the fact the listing clearly says no cancellations will be accepted, nag messages on slow days, how to take a deduction when you run into a dishonest buyer, and about 3 or 4 more topics that I'm not even going to read right now because I don't think I'm going to get to them all. Guys, it's been a freaking crazy week. Crazy, crazy. I don't even know where to start. I'm going to start with an update. Remember a few weeks ago, I told you I called up eBay, or I requested a callback to solve a certain issue, which they did. And then I told you that I said to the agent, by the way, I'd like you to check something. There is a particular seller who left a negative feedback for a buyer, reverse positive, where they blasted the buyer's name and address all over the feedback. I showed you some of it. I had to cross out some of it. The representative told me that that was an easy fix and he'd have it taken care of. That was 3 weeks ago. I swear on my life, the feedback is still up. Nothing was ever done. It's not my problem. It's not my deal. But how do you think buyers will feel when they happen to stumble across that feedback? It's going to make them think twice about buying on eBay because they're going to think it's not safe. Is it safe? What? I'm sorry, you talking to me? Is it safe? What do you mean, is it safe? Is what safe? Is it safe? I think you get the point. Next, I want to talk about negative and neutral feedback received by yours truly, poor Joey. Undeserved. For the first time in my 25-year eBay career, I received both a negative and a neutral within 1 hour of each other. A new personal record. The transactions were not related in any way, and I'll tell you what happened. With the negative, a person had purchased something through the eBay International Delivery Program, and apparently they never got it. I checked the tracking and it shows that I shipped it right away. It made it to the hub in Chicago, but from there was a problem to the buyer's address. So I'm not disputing that the buyer didn't get the item. Okay? What do? I get a negative feedback. Entirely in Spanish. The buyer says that he didn't receive the item. Now, as you know, one of the things eBay touts with their international delivery program is protection for things like this. So I was pretty confident that it would be removed. I put in for a removal request approximately 4 p.m. and I received a message back about an hour and 3/4 later saying that yes, they would remove the negative feedback because I am protected through the eBay International Delivery Program, and it shows that my item made it to the hub. I did nothing wrong. So, in that one, thumbs up eBay, you did well. Now let's talk about the neutral. Any of you guys that want to see it, feel free to click on my account. You can see it because it's still up. So I think you know what that means. A buyer sent me a best offer on an item. I accepted his best offer, and I shipped the item. He got the item, and the feedback he left me You want me to read it to you? Yeah, I think I will. I was going to try and do it by memory, but what the heck? I might as well just read it to you exactly the way he said it. These are his exact words. I'm somewhat satisfied with this item. You get what you pay for. I'm somewhat satisfied with this item. You get what you pay for. How is that? How should that be a neutral feedback? He's admitting he's satisfied with the item and he got exactly what he paid for. First, I tried the automated removal option. I knew that wasn't going to work, and that was an epic fail. Then I went to eBay for Business. I was a little bit more confident that they would remove it. No way. They said it's the buyer's opinion. Guys, like I said, feel free to check my feedback. Is there anybody watching this video that thinks that that feedback should be considered neutral when he says he's satisfied and he got what he paid for? This is an example of how antiquated the eBay feedback system is. It's horrible, and they refuse to do anything about it. It's sad. I've heard so many stories in the Facebook groups and other places as well. But I figured I would tell you my experiences for the week. I should actually consider myself lucky because I got the negative removed. But of course that was a given because it was through the eBay International Delivery Program. Now I'm going to talk about cancellations. And I've said this so many times in the past. I will accept a cancellation for any reason, just about, as long as I haven't printed the label yet. In fact, I don't even print the labels right away. I always give the person an hour or so. If somebody then wants to cancel after the label is printed, too bad. It's going. I'm a man of my word, all right? I'm not a liar. I've proved to you in screenshots that I'm not, and wait till you see the screenshot presentation I have coming up, all right? Some people have them, and some people don't. Me, mine clang when I walk, all right? Fair is fair and right is right. But anyway, I want to do a little presentation of show and tell. I did this a few weeks ago with a Cadillac, and it's important you understand why I get so pissed off. Here are two Lincoln center caps. They look a lot alike, but of course they're different diameters and they're nothing alike. But if you're looking at just one on the screen, you might think it's yours even though it's not. The larger one is a real dog item. Nobody ever buys it. I'll take basically anything for it. The smaller ones are in much greater demand and bring a lot more money. So when I list them, I always put the part number, okay? And I also take a picture of the part number on the back of the cap, as I've showed you in the past. I also include in picture number 3 a picture of the alloy wheel that the cap goes on. All these things, I use the drop-down menu, I do everything. And if that's not enough, I say in the listing, I will not accept cancellations for any reason, so please be sure this is correct and do all price shopping first. So, the other day, I think it was, let's say Tuesday. Tuesday I listed this dog for $10 plus shipping through the post office. All right, $10. I think the shipping on this on a 2-pound item was about $8.75. So within 4 hours, it sold. Okay. Immediately, I'll admit I was nervous because this thing never sells. Never ever sells. Oh, but wait, I left one part out. The customer sent me a best offer. I was only asking $10. He sent me a best offer of $7.50. So I said to myself, it's a low offer, but it's a dog item. I'm happily going to take the $750. And just because he went out of his way to send me a lower offer means he probably did his homework. Okay, I accept the offer, I get paid, I box the item, put it in the car. Several hours later, he writes to me and says something like this: I don't want that cap. The truth is, I didn't bother even reading the description. I just thought it looked like my son's car, and I wanted to buy it for him. Blew me off like I was a piece of trash on the sidewalk. I wrote back to him and I said, too late to cancel, buddy. However, if you want to send it back at your own expense, I will gladly give you a refund on the purchase price. Which means he's going to be spending $17 to get back $750. Will he do it? I think he probably will, because he's stupid. I also have reason to believe he's elderly, and I can't understand why an elderly man is shopping online for his son's alloy wheel cap. Can't his son, who's of the right age, do it himself? Everything about the deal just made me shake my head in disbelief. People think that, these cancellations, they can do it willy-nilly hours or days after, and it's just not going to happen. Another problem I'm having, and this is even more serious, I think, is people contacting me 3 days after I ship the item, telling me they want to change their address. I've been getting this a lot lately, and I don't understand if these people really think that can be done 3 days after I ship the item. But now here's where this gets very, very technical, and a problem could arise. As I said, I ship the item. 3 days later, the guy tells me the address is wrong. He wants it shipped to 123 Main Street. I wrote back and said, I'm not shipping anything to 123 Main Street. It's already on its way to your eBay registered address. I haven't received it back, but if I do, I will give you back the purchase price refund, just the purchase price. Okay, what do you think this idiot savant does next? Anybody? The same as what a person did to me a few weeks ago. He opens a return request. A return request for an item he claims he doesn't have. Now, what's going to happen here? In the return request, he even wrote, sent to the wrong address or wrong address. Remember what happened a few weeks ago? I sat back like this and I said, I'm just going to let it time out and it's going to be closed in my favor. But somehow the buyer was able to double dip and open a case against me. And the eBay representative, who probably could legally be considered a moron, took the money out of my account, shipping both ways and the item, and gave it back to the buyer. You'll remember, I did a video on this 2 weeks ago with screenshots, and my representative said, this person was definitely wrong. Now, question, do you think it's going to happen to me again? Oh, I hope not. I sincerely hope not. I'm going to tell you something on camera. I mean this. You know me, guys. When I say something, I mean it. If this buyer is able to open a case against me and eBay takes the money out of my account illegally, like they did last time, I'm going to obviously call in and get it rectified. And in my very next eBay video, in the title, I'm going to tag the CEO, Mr. Iannone, who I met personally in Philly a few months ago, and I'm going to invite him to be a guest here on the Crazy New York Driver Show, either through Zoom or live. I mean that from my heart. Of course, the odds of him accepting the offer are not that great. Okay, I get that. In fact, he may not even know about the offer. But that offer is going out there. If this buyer is able to open a case and my money is taken out of my account, which is not the way it's supposed to work on eBay. It's happened to me twice this year. This one will be the third time. It ain't happening a fourth, okay? We as sellers have to obey eBay rules. No problem. Buyers have to obey them too, and it's not happening. They're twisting them and they're bending them like pretzels to accommodate the buyers and screw the sellers. It ain't gonna happen. Another thing I've noticed on slow days, I've been meaning to talk about this for weeks. On days when you're slow and you're selling nothing's happening, do you notice you get a flurry of nag messages from eBay? You hear the piano music and you think maybe it's an offer or a question about your item, and it's take 10% off Rolex watches if you buy today. Yeah, okay. Or another good one is your recently viewed items are still up for sale. I'm not talking about items in my watch list. No. I'm talking about something I casually clicked on because I was doing research. It happened again today. And it's happening a lot. Okay, now I would like to talk about taking deductions when you encounter a bad buyer who abuses the returns policy. For instance, you sell somebody a blue sweater, he gets the sweater, and he files item not as described and writes in the comment section, "Oh, I thought it was a green sweater." Now you know there are no checks and balances on eBay. He's going to get away with that. But if you offer free returns, or if you're a top-rated seller like Cute Joey, you're given a deduction tool. And I'm going to show you how that works right now. I should tell you that I filmed the cutaway on Monday night, and I had fully intended to publish it Monday night. But as things happened, I never got around to it. I got busy. So then I said, well, I'll put it up Tuesday night. And Tuesday came, I never got to it. Wednesday came, I never got to it. So I figured, what the heck, I'll just mush it in with the Friday video. So here it is. Hey guys, Joe DeMarco from the Crazy New York Driver Show. Today is Monday, March 18th, 2024. Welcome to another eBay video. Today is going to be a tutorial about how to use the eBay deduction tool when buyers claim falsely item not as described, or the eBay guaranteed fitment program unfairly punishes sellers. So let's get right into it. Before we talk about today's deduction, let's talk about these two right here. You'll notice it says in both cases, waiting for buyer to confirm refund received. That's because when I processed the refund, in both cases, I took a deduction and I toggled off the original shipping. Now previously, when a buyer was honest and claimed, like these two did, doesn't fit my vehicle, the fault was on them because they made the wrong purchase. They purchased the wrong size. But when eBay introduced this guaranteed fitment program, which in my opinion is a failure, eBay is now punishing all sellers if the buyer happens to have the vehicle in question. Like for instance right here, this guy entered in 1996 Cadillac in his fitment space when he made the purchase. But the eBay Guaranteed Fitment Program doesn't take into account that each model year has about 5 or 6 different wheels. So that doesn't mean they're all interchangeable, because they certainly are not. But I'm not going to be punished for this, I can tell you that right now. Now I will show you today's deduction, and we will do it live on camera so you can see how it works. This lot of 5 silver Jeep Liberty center caps. You can see now, because the buyer claims, look here, wrong item sent, number one, he's an outright liar. I sent him these items in the picture. I showed you this on last week's video, so if you didn't see it, you might want to go back and check that, where I show you he admits that he's got a different wheel. But eBay is charging me the original shipping. I'm going to knock that right off. Okay? You see it's now only $27 he's getting back, the purchase price. And in the comment section, I will say the buyer is incorrectly claiming the wrong item was sent. What actually happened is the buyer purchased the wrong item that is not compatible with his wheel. I sent the exact same item that was in the listing. Simple, easy, peasy, Japanesey. I will now close out this return, and then after that, I'm going to report the buyer as well. Okay, the return was processed, and you can see his total refund was $27. Next, I'm going to report the buyer for misuse of the return system. Now I'm going to report this buyer to eBay for misuse of the return system. Right here, report a problem. What was the problem? I don't agree with the buyer's reason for return. And once again, I will type out the same message. See that? This is what you guys need to be doing, okay? It's the only way we can get the system to work. Now here's something weird. It says this return will be closed once your refund goes through. But, you know, it hasn't been closing. It just hasn't been closing. But anyway, guys, please, please take this video to heart. If a buyer falsely abuses the system, please deduct the original shipping and please report him to eBay for misuse of the return system. That being said, guys, thanks for watching. I'm Crazy New York Driver and you're not. Rock on and peace. I realize this video is running a little bit longer than usual, but I think all these topics need to be discussed and should be discussed because they're like a cancer. If they're not addressed, they're going to spread. And this is why some of you guys need to grow some cojones. Somebody wrote in a couple of weeks ago and said, Joe, aren't you afraid that buyers are going to leave you negative feedback if you use the deduction tool and deduct the original shipping, like I just showed you I did? You can see not one, not two, but 3 cases where I did it. And no, I'm not afraid, all right? You need to stand up for yourself. I swear to Christ, I bet some of you guys were in line to give the school bully your lunch money every day of the week. He took it from you on Monday. Tuesday, you were right back, handed it over. Well, not cute Joey, all right? Cute Joey doesn't like people ripping him off. And I'll stand up for myself. So yeah, all right? Fair is fair, right is right. eBay gives us the deduction tool. They give us that report a buyer link because they want to know, believe it or not. They say they want to know when buyers are abusing the return system. And they should know. Another thing that's been happening in an alarming rate, not so much to me, but to other people I know, is what I call double dipping. And it works like this. A buyer will buy something on eBay and try and do a return. Okay? The return will not be granted. Let's say the seller does not accept returns. And the buyer admits they bought the wrong size. Oh man, I bought the wrong size or the wrong color. The buyer doesn't have to take it back. When eBay then backs up the seller and says, okay, return closed, The buyer then double dips and goes to his credit card company and says, I do not remember the charge. It's been happening a lot. And not just on $100 items, I mean on cheap stuff too. $20, $30 items. I don't know what the world's coming to, man. But it would be nice if eBay would ban any person that does a credit card chargeback after they have lost the case on eBay. I think that would be fair. I also don't think it's going to happen. Guys, please don't be scared to sell on eBay because of the things I've told you. I still sell, I'm still doing okay, but the climate has definitely changed for the worse. Okay? No lie, I'm not sugarcoating anything. You want the Powder Puff channel? Hoof off down the street, all right? This is the reality channel. I'm telling you the way it is, all right? I still think at this time, eBay is the best place to sell your used merchandise. What's going to happen later in the year or next year, I don't know. That's why I'm saying, right now, to use a little bit of a vulgar expression, milk the tit for all it's worth, man. Keep listing, keep selling while you can, okay? Something's going to have to break one way or the other. Either the eBay executives are going to realize, hey, we let this get out of hand. We need to give sellers some privileges back and stop the buyer abuse. Because if they don't, I hate to think of how it would go. I really do. That being said, guys, thank you for watching this video. I'm Crazy New York Driver. You're not. Comments, questions, concerns are always welcome. I hope you make a lot of money on eBay this week. Rock on and peace.